Welcome to another great episode of Nature's Remedies Center with Dr. B. Now, Dr. B this summer was very busy. She had to do a lot of traveling, and so she's back on with us, and I'm very grateful for her to being here, and I'm excited because all the information that she brings to us is very vital and important. And today is no exception. They have a very important topic about inflammation that we're going to be discussing today. And we were sharing right before we went on that she's been talking about this since I met her. I think I met her back in 2008, 2009. And
Mhm.
she's been telling me about inflammation ever since. Finally, I keep hearing that buzzword going around in mainstream um, platforms, social media, and so it's coming around. And I'm so glad that she chose inflammation as a topic for today because it is very important. So as always, want to welcome everyone that's watching over Facebook and YouTube, listening to us over 97.7 FM airwaves as well. So Dr. B, welcome. Thank you for welcome back.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, and I hope that we can. What we're going to talk today could be a helpful information that we can hear, process, and practice one day.
That's right. So inflammation. What is inflammation?
So the inflammation, like pretty much, it's the food that we eat. We are what we eat, and like inflammation, it's a natural body response to injury, to food, drink, infection, or foreign invader that may cause one acute or chronic inflammation. But what are we going to do here? Can you go next on the first one? Like we're going to show that how important food is because next click and to show one more time. So this one is Dr. Alex Carroll, Nobel laureate. He got a Nobel Prize, and this he what he did. The cell is immortal if receive the proper food. The cell. So it is merely the fluid in which it floats which degenerates, renew this fluid at intervals and give the cell something on each to feed. And so far as we know, pulsation of life may go forever. So he proved that by experiment in a jar, and he kept a chicken heart alive, reproducing new cells for 28 years.
Wow.
So that's mean proves what the Bible say that we are, and the old saying that they used to say, we are what we eat is exactly like that. So if we go to back to the original diet, you should have no inflammation. Like you avoid inflammation. So that's why what are we going to see? There is many causes of inflammation, but what are we going to tag most is food and drinking.
Okay. And so, are we going to talk about the different types of inflammation?
Yes, you can go to two. Here is fine. Pure waters. We're gonna see that inflammation. It's the body has toxins and is a part of the defense mechanism. He's trying to eliminate. So the best way to clean up the body is drinking water. Like for example, in health and in sickness, pure water is one of the heaven's choices of blessing. It is proper use promotes health. It is a beverage which God provides to quench the thirst of animals and men. Drunk freely, it helps supply the necessity of the system and assist nature to resist disease. That's the answer. So that we gave two answers already how to avoid inflammation. What is the best liquid possible to cleanse what? Tissues. So we told the original diet avoids inflammation, and then we told the best way to cleanse the tissue to detox is water. So Ellen G. White. Now, next one. Here we saw already that inflammation is the body natural response to injury. food, drink, infection, or foreign invader that may cause one acute or chronic reaction. Now we're going to see the difference. The second one, here there is two types. We call acute, that acute is just to happen suddenly, and then chronic is it's could be a low grade, but it's forever there. But the chronic inflammation leads to chronic degenerative disease, so that it's very related to disease inflammation. And the way you eat or lacking of water, you're gonna create inflammation in your body, independent of any factor. And once you have inflammation, your body is acidic. It's a bad for disease. You see how important it is to eliminate inflammation. So acute inflammation is one injury or illness that can involve acute or short-term inflammation. Could be pain, redness, loss of function, and swallow and heat. Because sometimes swallow a finger, you cannot move the finger, or
Mhm.
and then chronic inflammation, you're going to be have a lot of sensitivity, exposure, autoimmune disorders, autoinflammatory disease, persistent acute inflammation, and it's going to lead you to chronic degenerative disease. So it's very important. And it's two simple ways to avoid. One is have a good diet, and another one, drink water with minerals. Now, next one. Now we're gonna see that there is many causes for dehydration, but we want to explain to you most is two more important things: is the food, the drinking, dehydration, chemicals, and food allergies. They all related, and it's all related what we put inside our mouth. It's all connects. Like for example, dehydration. If you don't drink enough water, you're gonna create inflammation, and you're not gonna cleansing the tissues. So that is going to increase inflammation. The foods, like here we have a list. I guess they cannot read
Mhm.
that, but it's called foods to avoid and drinks that cause blood inflammation, and then can promote a heart attack or stroke when on your body will be elevate HSCRP, homocysteine, and lipoprotein A. Why this is going to be elevated on your body? Like for example, if you eat fried foods, the oil is going to turn into acid. It's going to perforate your arteries.
Arteries.
And then the body needs to put a band-aid there. And that band-aid is going to bring this on your blood, CRP, homocysteine, lipoprotein A, fibrinogen. So they're going to create a band-aid to close your hole.
It's like cholesterol.
It's cholesterol, but it's lipoprotein A, not cholesterol.
Okay.
Lipoprotein A. They the lipo because the fibrin is like a stick. They cannot cover. They need a glue. So the lipoprotein A, it's a glue. So it's not really cholesterol. It's
Mhm.
lipoprotein A. But those markers only is gonna have in your blood when you eat this kind of food, like for example gluten. Gliadin is neurotoxic, and it's going to be cause brain inflammation, and it's called neurotoxicity. So gluten, gliadin. The gliadin is the part that causes inflammation. Dairy, casein, is going to be cause blood and brain inflammation. Fried foods is going to clog up your arteries because you just told you that when you eat the oil, when you heat up the oil, is going to turn into acid. It irritates the arteries and perforates. So then what your body is going to do? Bring calcium out of the bones. It needs to buff it up because two things are, they need a band-aid that is going to be by lipoprotein A, the fibrin, and other things. But also, when you did that, your body become acidic, so you need to bring calcium to be a buffer to make your body alkaline again. So you activating all the defense mechanism. They not
Mhm.
your enemy. It's the so if you drink a lot of Coke, you take it off calcium from your bones to buff it up to make the blood alkaline again. But the calcium doesn't go back. So you're going to pee out. So that's how you get osteoporosis. But the first osteoporosis is in the mouth, that you start losing, the tooth become loose. Then later will be the bones. So all these disease can be avoided by just a correct diet, original diet. And this paper here is just a sample the foods that is cause inflammation. So that's why, and here food allergies, this one you're gonna have when you eat improperly. All these foods that is on
Mm-hmm.
that list irritates your gut, and your guts open, become permeable, and when it becomes permeable, the gaps. When you eat food, it's gonna pass indigest food to the gaps, and then you're gonna have allergies. So it's always everything related to food intake and drink intake. So that's why it's all connected. Now we can go to the fourth one.
So theoretically, we can reverse those food allergies if we
Yes,
eat
but
properly and
it's not only stop eating those foods that is damage the line of the gut, but also you need to take a supplement to fix the gut line, and takes about 6 months to rebuild that lining.
the lining of the
Yes,
stomach.
because you
Okay.
need to put you need the the good bacteria, the flora back, and we should have 80% of the good bacteria, the good flora, and 20% the bad ones. They should work. But when we eating properly, when you take antibiotics, vaccines, all kinds of stuff, invert it, and then the bacteria, bad bacteria thrive, and then the good bacteria go down. Then you're gonna have allergies. You're gonna be sick. So the immune system is gonna go down. So that's why. And from the same thinking that you are eating improperly, when you eat improperly, like for example, I drink 2 liters of Coke. The first thing that's going to happen when I drink, my eyes is going to be blurred, because the first place that is going to create this guys here is called free radicals, and that one because it's a Coke is called water-free radicals. It's going to be on my eyes, so that's why the everybody start losing their eyesight early, and the diabetics they can even go blind because of that, because the first site for the free radicals will be the eyes first. That's why our vision starts going down. And the free radicals really is a byproduct of a normal metabolism or after being exposed to toxins. But if you eat incorrectly every single day, you're creating all those free radicals a lot, and those free radicals, they have one electron by itself. So they go and trying to find someone to bind on them. So they are very bad. So what it does, the antioxidants neutralize them, because the antioxidant has the power to bind to this free electrical, so neutralizes stabilize the free radical, stabilize. So here, if the person eats, like for example, caffeine, sodas, they will create a water-free radicals. And to neutralize those is vitamin C. Now,
Okay.
if you eat fried foods, anything related with fat, you're going to create called fat-free radicals. And to neutralize, you need vitamin E. But the vitamin E needs to be alpha tocopherol, because the DL is synthetic, will damage the liver. So you need to have the correct supplement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And combine it with the right
Yes,
things
and
also, right?
usually when you drink multivitamin, it needs to be food source, always food source, because our body is not made to process synthetics.
Synthetic.
Yes, it's always food source. So here, when you like, if you eat all day long foods that make your body acidic, you're gonna create a lot of free radicals. And when you create a lot of free radicals, your body doesn't have enough antioxidants to neutralize. Then you call oxidative stress, and really can kill the cell. Oxidation is rust. That's how the cells died. So that's why we really need to pay attention to your diet, because and once you don't take care of the inflammation is a bad for disease. It's a home environment for disease. So that's how important it is to take care of the inflammation. And now we can go on the five.
Excellent.
Yes, here we are explaining that the homocysteine, the CRP, and the lipoprotein A is going to be only in your blood if you eat foods that will injure what? The vessels. Okay? So here you have a vessel injury. You look at who is here. CRP. And then the heart will be NT-proBNP. So this is the markers for inflammation in the heart. And here is a vessel injury. So here comes the band-aid. And who is the glued together here? Lipoprotein protein A, because they like here's usually it's a fibrin. This is just a red cells, but this is coagulation. But what comes is fibrinogen. They are sticks, and we put it then together is lipoprotein A, and then cover that hole there. Okay, and you hear another vessel when your markers of artery vessel wall and homocysteine will be elevated. But here in the valley, a lot of people has a problem with the high homocysteine, because what happened, the Spanish race, they are lacking enzyme to process the B12. So when they drink the B complex, it needs to be already with enzyme process. So most of people, if you do that, homocysteine will be elevated, and we have to check if they have that enzyme deficiency. Okay, so this is going to show in your blood only if you eat those foods that cause inflammation, because it's part of the defense mechanism. Osteoporosis you're going to have only if you eat drink.
That's depleting your calcium from your body.
Yes, so as part of the defense mechanism. So your body is trying to protect you. You cannot sleep with acidic blood. You die. Needs to be 4.7
So our poor bodies are sitting there fighting for us
all day.
all day.
Yes,
And
it's
we
amazing machine, because you they buffer up all the time. You eat acidic food, and by the night when you sleep, it's already alkaline. And if you know another way that the body takes care of that, when you are sleeping, if you eat acidic food all day long, you're gonna during your sleep, it's gonna release calcium. It's gonna go to your joints, arthritis,
Oh,
and because calcium irritates. Arthritis is really a bacteria, but during the night it's going to release calcium, and calcium irritates the tissue, and it's usually in the joints. It's going to release uric acid. During the night you're going to have gout, and it's going to release sugar when you're diabetics, and your nerve ends from the hand and the feet is going to be numb. That's all released during the night, because we ate a lot of things through the day that made your body acidic. And plus, you're going to get up 3, 4, 5 times to go to the restroom.
because your body's trying to push everything out.
The liver. You see how important it is to know how to eat, because you can avoid the inflammation, you can avoid the free radicals, and you can avoid getting up with pain, body pain.
And then people do the opposite, going back to where your body's waking you up, 3, 4 times 5 times a night to go to the restroom, because your body's trying to get rid of all those toxins, everything we're putting in.
Yes, and they don't know. They think they don't have no idea that is most of the time is the food that they ate.
Yeah, and then they don't drink water at night, because I don't want to drink water at night because I'm gonna have to go to the restroom. That's the worst thing you could do, right?
Yes, we're gonna see that here. We put it there. Next one. Now here we're gonna see the next is just press and goes to the next. Yes, here we explain about the leaky gut. Didn't show the provincial. Oh, is next. Okay, here's the leaky gut. Next, before that, it's fine. The other one. Here I explain to you what a leaky gut. To see what causes the leaky gut. This you have to have good bacteria, that is 80%, and the bad bacteria, that is at 20%. This is a healthy gut. You see, the villi are connected. But when we eat improperly, okay, we're gonna make those gaps is gonna open. And then when you eat, like for example, animal products, especially at night, you eat 8 o'clock at night and go to bed 10. So this food didn't digest. Okay, it's not enough time. So undigest animal product goes through here and called peptides. And then by midnight, you wake up with a panic attack or anxiety. It's because the peptides went to your bloodstream, landed on the brain, and then gave you anxiety and panic attack. Então, really, it's a gut problem. Okay, everything starts in your gut. Your gut is the second brain. So any problem, neuro that you have, is here first. You have to fix this. So this is a leaky gut, and that could be gluten, damage, bacteria infection, virus, toxins, anything that is dairy products, anything that will make that gap open. Once this gap open, like for example, you can become most of people is allergic to peanut butter and nuts because the vaccines they do in the peanut butter oil. So some kids it's extremely allergic to peanut butter. But for example, I'm not allergic to banana, but if I have this open here and I eat banana and a particle of banana goes undigested here, I'm going to have an allergy reaction. So allergy really is like the real food passing in your bloodstream.
Oh, I see.
So you have to close that, fix that.
And for those of you watching, I don't know how clear that chart is. How does it look, Daniel? Daniel's behind the scenes here helping us out. But what it is, it's the stomach lining, right? And these are like, if you look at it, I guess under a microscope, it will look like
Yes,
little
the
hairs.
intestine is
Yeah,
intestine. It's
the
called
intestine.
villi.
Okay.
Villi.
They look like little hairs, right?
Yes.
And in a healthy gut, there's no space in between the hairs.
Yeah, they're
Right?
connected.
They're connected. When you have problems, when you eat all the stuff that I eat that I'm not supposed to eat, then you create little gaps in between there, and that's when undigested food kind of goes in there. Is that correct?
And
Okay.
also bacteria, virus, parasite, anything goes there and then make you sick, because your blood should be clean, should be the red blood cells and the white blood cells, and needs to be the plasma clear. But you can see bacteria, parasite, fungus when you have this.
And
When
that's
you
called
have
the leaky gut.
leaky
Okay.
gut, yes. So that means permeable, it's passing things through. That's what leaky gut is. So that's it's very important when the mother had a baby to breastfeed the baby or to close those gaps, because if she doesn't close this gap, and usually the formula of the baby has corn syrup, and the baby it's show allergies at the early age. And then you have to give a probiotic for the baby to close that gap when the mother did not breastfeed the baby, because the supposed to close those gaps with the colostrum.
How important it is, huh?
Yes, it's very
I
important.
mean, and that's how civilized. And I keep saying it just about in every episode. That's how humanity has survived for thousands of years.
Yes,
Natural.
everything was natural. The next page. Now here we look at how bad the leaky gut is. You can have all these problems, health problems, because of the leaky gut. You can have depression. Why you have depression when you have a leaky gut? Because the intestine is responsible 75% of the serotonin, 75% for the immune system, and 75% for the melatonin. So if your gut is not in order, you're going to have insomnia, depression, and sick on and off. You see, all this disease is due to the leaky gut. And the brain could be depression, anxiety. Anxiety we explained already how it happened. And attention deficit disorder with a hyperactivity. Thyroid, Hashimoto's, it's inflammation on the thyroid, but everybody has a thyroid problem, even if the lab work is normal. But when they do a thermal image, they will be see inflammation. So they need to take Lugol's iodine, 1 capsule in the morning, and the children drops. Everybody has inflammation on the thyroids because our food doesn't have enough iodine. Okay, synthetic iodine doesn't help. It needs to be the regular one. And then the hypothyroidism, Graves, sinus and mouth, frequent colds, food sensitivities, skin. Like when you see acne, rosacea really is a parasite. Eczema, psoriasis. When you see all those diseases, that's meaning your gut is in very bad shape. It's dirty, your blood is dirty, and your gut doesn't have the good flora. You fix the gut, those things goes away with time. And joints, rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, headaches. The first sign when you have a headache, it could be dehydration. Like you drink water, if it doesn't go away, then try magnesium. If it doesn't go away, you have to see what you're eating, because the headache sometimes doesn't happen right away. Like for example, some foods that is there for us to eat, we're not supposed to eat, like cheese. They won't digest, they'll be rolling on your stomach like processed cheese, and then you could have a headache like 2 days later or 3 days later. So no necessary on the same day. uh, MSG usually gave you headaches right away, because it's number one cause of the migraines. And then adrenal, you can cause adrenal fatigue, constipation, diarrhea, and IBS. So all this is because of the leaky gut. So, but in how we avoid to have leaky gut? By avoiding the foods that cause what? Inflammation, gluten, dairy, and I think we have a list in here
Yes.
somewhere. Yes, to avoid all those things that cause inflammation. Now we can go to the next one. And now we explain that they all connect inflammation and disease. Remember, first we have acute inflammation, then can turn into chronic inflammation, and then chronic inflammation you can go to degenerative disease that can be caused by a chronic inflammation. Inflammation disrupt homeostasis on balanced body chemistry. We explain why. Is because when you eat foods that is not proper, that your body for you to eat and digest, you create a state of acidity on your body. And when you acidic, they have to balance. They have to buffer up, and they have like if I drink a bottle of Coke, who's gonna come to help me? They have to take the calcium from my bones to buffer up and other things that they use, but the calcium won't go back. So then you're gonna have osteoporosis. And then the leaky gut is gonna, like when you have a severe leaky gut, usually anything that you eat, dairy or flour, you're gonna blow, and you're gonna have a lot of gases, and you'll be sensitive to a lot of even to medicine, even to natural stuff, and you're gonna have a lot of allergies and inflammation. So it's they all together. But the number one to avoid those all this, what is it? Diet and correct drink intake.
That's right.
That's how to fix all, reverse all this. Okay, now we can go to the next one. Here, the what will be the what causes the when we don't take care of the inflammation? The first thing that's gonna happen, we're gonna what are we gonna have on your hair?
The hair. You go.
White,
Oh,
white hair. You're gonna
wow. All this.
age.
Okay.
The first thing is aging. You start dying as earlier. So you're gonna start aging, wrinkle, and everything because your body's always inflamed. You didn't detox your body, so it's not clean. So you have 24 hours with inflammation, so that's meaning you overload in toxins. So then that those toxins is gonna damage the tissue. Okay, so and then you're gonna have autoimmune disease, and then when you have a long-term inflammation, you're gonna have cancer because cancer only can thrive a lack of oxygen and acidic body. They cannot survive in the oxygenate environment. They're gonna go in places that you had a bad circulation in your body, or you don't have enough oxygenation, or it's acidic. So you're gonna end up with cancer, and then heart disease and stroke. We saw why those two. It's because when I eat or when I'm not supposed to, the first thing that is going to be inflamed is my vessels, and then they need to put a band-aid there, and that's how the plaque will form.
Yeah, and the arteries keep getting smaller and smaller with all the
And
plaque.
you saw wasn't cholesterol, was lipoprotein what? A. And and we saw oxidation, oxidized fat was LDL and no LDLC. Because when we eat animal products, like you can never process 100%, always going to be a leftover, and they oxidize. It's oxidized fat, and you can see that on the movie The Game Change. Like they pick it up three athletes. One they gave burritos with beans, chicken, and meat, and they did the lab work. They saw that person that ate vegetarian was no fat oxidized on the leftover fat oxidized on the bloodstream. You see
Hmm.
how important is what you eat. So if you don't stop inflammation, that sooner or later that person is going to die from heart attack or stroke, because the number one damage besides the eyes, the second one is the what? The blood vessels. Because the eyes, when you eat something that you're not supposed to eat or drink, your eyes become blurry in 30 minutes.
Hmm.
You see how you can reverse all this just by watching what you eat and what you're drinking. The next one here, what are the benefits of adequate water intake? I think we mentioned already what it
Hmm.
was. It's a blood, what, tissue
Hmm.
cleansing, cleanses the blood, cleanses the tissue. That's what it does. And by cleaning, detox the body, because inflammation is what? Body trying to get rid of what? Intoxication, toxins. Because we ate a lot of things that promotes free radicals and the inflammation of the body. It's just a self-defense mechanism for the body to clean up, to heal, and to get rid of the stuff. So here, water promotes health, quench the thirst, help supply the necessity of our system, assist nature to resist disease, cleansing the tissues, blood thinner, regulates all function, mean of transport and pack material. Because they a mean of transport because they can hydrate the cell and also they can detox the cell. They can take off the trash to be eliminated through the kidney, like through the system. So water is the number one like help when you are have inflammation because it cleans the tissue. But the water it needs to drink with minerals, okay? Because the water that we are drinking doesn't have minerals. We needs to be add mineral. And if even like they can drink buy Celtic salt and 1 grain. Like for each glass of water, they put 1 grain of Celtic salt on the tongue, and that will hydrate the body. Or use sea salt, or but in the right quantity. Yes,
Just a little grain.
it's just a little grain because we need. Well, I use mineral, like for I drink this bottle here, and it's 32 ounces is almost up to here is 1 liter, and I put 1 ounce of mineral drink. So I always drink mineral, and we're supposed to have 2 bottles that's daily. And if you do exercise every half an hour, you need to drink a water with minerals. Yes. Next one. And here, how much water we need to drink daily, which just told you. So minimum 2 liters of water per day with minerals. Because when God put us here on the earth, the rivers had minerals. More sweet the water was, more minerals have. So was given to us. So we drink magnesium all day long. Now we all deficient in magnesium and iodine. So we need to and minerals. So we have to make sure we take those daily supplements. So it's your weight divided into. It is going to give the number of ounces that you have to drink daily. Or like if, for example, the person is 120 pounds, divide by 2, she needs 16 ounces of water per day. Or 2 liters will be over that. So this is 32 ounces.
Okay.
Yes. So be a little. This has a little bit 4 ounces more than that. But it's if they do exercise, they need more than that.
So if I'm double that weight, then I need 120 ounces.
Yes, per day. Yes.
So a gallon, basically, of water.
Through the day, no,
Yes,
separate. You
not
cannot
at
drink
once.
all at once. Yeah, it would be bad for you. Next one. So we're now at the drinking water. Click. So here, remember that you say people don't drink water before they go to bed because they thought they're gonna pee all night long. But if we drink the water before I go to bed, look what we avoid. 1 cup before going to bed, avoid what?
Stroke and heart attacks.
Because what is a stroke, heart attack? They go into spasm. We have a stroke too because the artery can hemorrhagic stroke. The artery will bust. But here you can avoid that to go in spasm because the number one cause is it's dehydration and lack of magnesium. So by drinking you can avoid that. But usually people doesn't want to do that because they all acidic. And most of the time it's dehydration and the body is acidic and they will get up all night to go pee. But if they have a correct diet, 1 cup of drinking before go to bed is not going to make them all night long if they are doing correct things. So here 1 or 2 cups after walk helps activate internal organs. 1 or 2 cups 30 minutes before meals would help you to have a good digestion. And if you forget to drink the water before meals, you drink 2 hours after, but not of the food, because when you drink water with the food, you are diluting the gastric juice. So if that digestion for animal product it takes 4 to 5 hours to process, But because you drink 4 cups of water, the body needs to drain, the stomach needs to drain the water first, and then it starts processing the digestion. So you delay for 8 hours or more.
So we're doing everything wrong, huh? First of all, we're eating the bad foods that we're not supposed to eat that causes inflammation, causes all these problems. And then with our food, we are drinking liquids, which is we're fighting our stomach. Our stomach's trying to digest the food that we've just eaten, and we are throwing liquid down there, and our poor stomach is having to fight to digest that food.
Yes. And another thing, when you are eating, you should not be on the phone. You should be concentrate and chew your food, because you need to. The first way to defeat the microbes is in the mouth, the saliva. And then if you eat fast, you're not gonna having that saliva, so the bugs all go to your stomach, so they can thrive. Because here they have steps to try to kill all the bugs. But if you don't chew your food, you just swallow the food, you pass that step, so you can have candida, you can have many parasites inside your body, because you're not taking the time to chew your food, because you need to really uh, make a paste here in your mouth, because I tell my kids the stomach doesn't have a teeth, so you better chew at the food here. And you need to take the time to eat. Like eat time is sacred. So we have, as a Christian, I pray to bless the food, and then you sit down as a family, no phones, and eat and take your time to eat. That's the correct way to do it. A drinking is to, if you drink 1 or 2 or 3 cups of water before a meal, you're gonna have a good digestion. But 30 minutes before, the water only stay 10 minutes on your stomach, so it goes away. But when you put out the food, it takes a little bit longer for the body to do
To
that.
digest and
Yes,
separate
to
everything and sort
separate,
it out
because the
and
body
digest
won't
it.
start digesting until you take the water off. You see how hard do you make your body to work?
Yeah.
And then 1 cup of before you're taking a bath helps lower your blood pressure, because usually when you have a blood pressure in the morning, if your blood pressure goes up, it's lacking of minerals. And night, usually everybody, because the circadian rhythm, everybody blood pressure goes up at night, because it's normal. But then, like before you take a bath, 1 cup of water would help lower, because probably you're dehydrated and help dilate those vessels. You see, simple things, but they work. It's very
Hmm.
simple, but they work. The next one, you see, the water is the first cleansing that we have. And here you can start your day. Like if you really start doing that, then your body crave every day for you to do that, because this happened to me. And is eat 8 or 10 ounces of warm water with 1 lemon and 1 teaspoon of honey. What it makes, it hydrates your body. So that promotes for you to go early in the restroom, like for number 2, before you go to work, before you do anything, and makes your body alkaline. So it does a lot of things, just that simple thing. And you hydrate your body, because usually at night, like if you sleep with your mouth open, or you have a difficulty breathing, your mouth is gonna be very dry, dehydrate. So this will help you a lot.
So lemon and honey tea, basically.
Yes, it's 1 teaspoon only. And
Hmm.
your body, even if you're diabetic, the body processes honey, because it's a regular sugar. The body cannot process
Like,
artificial sugar.
like high
They,
fructose corn
yes,
syrup and all that.
yes, they can't. Then if you drink 1 soda for a day, you're gonna have a fatty liver, because the body doesn't know what to do with. Okay, so 1 soda a day is enough for you to get a fatty liver. So next one, and here it's called H natural remedies. So this one, it doesn't matter how sick you are, but if you follow, you can click all those. If you follow, this is given by God, by the Ellen G. White books, Spiritual Prophecy, and this is God's call the 8 doctors. And is the first one is what?
Nutrition.
And could be original
Hmm.
diet. And second one,
Exercise.
walking every day at least 1 hour, and early in the morning or later afternoon.
Water.
How many? Minimum 2 liters of
Yes.
water with minerals, because water without minerals go in and out, doesn't hydrate.
Sunshine.
That we need to be exposed our skin to the sun at least 20 minutes twice a day, maybe And here in McAllen is very hot, so it needs to be before 10 or after 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Temperance.
so temperance is always like, for example, here showing cigarette, but usually a Christian person doesn't
Mm-hmm.
smoke or should not drink either.
Mm-hmm.
Temperance, that means even though if I don't smoke, I don't drink, but I can overwork, is intemperance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we need to
So
have
a balance.
a balance. Air. So like here, it's the air conditioning zone, and the door there is closed. So we need to come early or afternoon later, open the door to refrigerate the air,
Mm-hmm.
because we need fresh
Clean out
air,
the air.
clean
Mm-hmm.
up the air, and then rest. We should be in bed like 10 o'clock, because the last time to release hormones is midnight. And if you, for us as adults, if we sleep after 10, we don't have the growth hormone. And the growth hormone that ones give us good memory. And for the children, for to grow and to do well in school. But not only that hormone is released, many others are released. But you have to have 2 hours of sleeping. And we have a clock on our body. Everything is with a clock. But the last time to release is midnight. So if you don't do that, and then the next day you're gonna get up, but you're not gonna perform well like if you sleep 10 o'clock. It's like you're gonna be very fast, like clean thoughts and things like that. If you do that, like I used to do that when I was medical school, and I used to study engineer too. And then I like when I put all these in practice, like getting up early and worshiping God, reading the Bible, and then have a good diet and sleeping, and thank you God for my day, I was doing very well in school. It really works. And I used to study what the lecture that I took on Monday, I could remember on the tests to do a test. I did not need to review the paper like too much, like it was all in my head. Like it
It
really
gave you
works.
mental clarity.
If you sleep 10 o'clock and follow all that, getting up early, put God in first place, and eat a good diet, really works. Actually, I was I kind of number one, kind of it. I was.
Fantastic.
Yes, I was doing very well, and medical and engineer and medical school too. And then when we stop, everything goes down, because this really works. Yes, yeah, like sleeping early really makes your thoughts clear, and you retain your memory. You don't need to study too hard on the books. And the last one is trust in God. Like Psalms 103:3-4 say, God is your God that forgive your sins because you already transgress, because you, number one, you're not eating a correct diet, so you sin. So the first thing, he forgives your sin and heal all disease. As a doctor, I'm just a teacher. I teach people how to clean up the system and how to recover the immune system. Clean up the body and recover the immune system. But the cure is only from God. Doesn't matter who we are just the teachers. The cure is always from God. That's why the Psalms 103:3-4 say, I am your God, I forgive you, is because we already transpassed called natural health rules. So that's why God wants us, before you get married, to know a little bit about physiology and
Mhm.
anatomy, because he wants for every single wife to be the doctors of their house. So actually, if they have a good diet, they hardly gonna go see a doctor. If they So this is called eight natural doctors or eight natural remedies. Doesn't matter how sick you are, doesn't matter what disease you have. If you follow these, you can recover. You have a chance to recover 90%. It's not me; it's a promise
Mhm.
that he gave to us. So I'm just passing what it goes next. And here is the famous original diet. They call nowadays the DNA food repair. And if you have a damaged DNA, like because we tended to do what our parents did, uh, follow the steps. But I did it because my father used to, he had high blood pressure when he was 40, and I don't have high blood pressure, so I don't follow his steps. So, like I don't eat what he used to eat. And so here, even if we did not have the Bible, even if we didn't know what the original diet is, you pick it up, your DNA has this.
Phosphates, which is fruit, vegetables, and water.
Uh-huh.
Complete sugar, which is grains and roots.
And nitrates.
And nitrates, which is plant-based protein, nuts, and good fats.
Okay. So that's me. How much percent you need daily the protein?
Only 20% for
Okay.
the.
And what
protein.
happened when I go to a barbecue, fill it up my plate like this, and
Yep.
put a small piece of vegetables?
That's right.
So I got 80% of nitrates, but my body requires how much only?
20%.
That's it. So we are doing completely wrong. So that's the original diet, and it's implanted in your DNA. Even if we don't have no record, no nothing, you pick it up, your DNA is there. So your body needs 50% phosphate, 30% complete sugar, and 20% nitrates. So, but most of people, they go for a big piece of like meat, beef, and then a tiny little veggie or no veggies or salad a little bit. No, that's a complete meal. Okay, so you need to learn food combination, and if you want to be healthy, we need to be that. Okay, and then because nowadays our food are depleting of the water doesn't have magnesium, so the main things daily that we can do is magnesium, iodine, taking minerals, and then we can add vitamin C and vitamin E because they are two powerful antioxidants. And then we limit our nitrates to 20%, then you're not going to age fast because aging is part of what? Inflammation process, free radicals, oxidative stress, because kills the cell. Is mean when they go in oxidative states, is they rust, they die. So that means we are killing ourselves early. Aging. The next one. Oh, we're finished today.
That's right. And so if you want to,
Yes.
it's I always mention that there's a lot of information. It's like drinking from from a fire hose. There's a lot of information, and so the good thing is that it's all being recorded. You can go back and stop, rewind. You can forward it to your friends. But if you want to make an appointment with Dr. B, you can find her at Nature's Remedy Center, located at 508 North 10th Street, Suite C10 in McAllen, Texas. You can also call the center at area code 956-631-1664. That's 956-631-1664. You can also shoot her an email at Nature's Remedies CTR. That's Nature's Remedies CTR for center at yahoo.com.
Mm-hmm. So I see you in the next episode. Is going to be in Spanish.
That's right. So in
The
2 weeks, it's going to be in Spanish. So same information in Spanish. Tell your friends who could benefit from listening to it in Spanish.
Yes. And thank you for watching.
Yeah, thank you so much for the information, Doc. And as always, it's great, and I'm glad that it's there on Facebook. It's there on YouTube. You can go back, listen to it, pause it, write down some notes. Go, head out to the store when we're have our grocery list and make sure that we're picking up the right stuff and supplements. But do please contact Dr. B if you want to have a consultation. If you're not in the city, you can pick up the phone and call her, and she can help you out that
Yeah,
way,
we
right?
do phone
Phone,
calls, a consultation,
like
and
telemedicine.
video. Yes,
Yeah,
we do that.
telemedicine. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for making the time to come out and talk to our
You're
audience.
welcome.
And until next time, keep listening, keep watching 97.7 FM, The City.
Thank you.